And internet land. This is Roger Dodger 49er. Latest project is a 1985, I think. It's got a Gpz900r rebuilt from the absolute ground up. Split the case, new crank bearings, new rod bearings, all the way up. Although the head was pretty good shape, and the pistons were too. But we just now kind of got it running. It had, you had all these leaks to begin with. The banjo bolts on the side, there's a little, I kind of get in there, you can see it sort of in there. You can see one of those banjo bolts down in there. There's like a Y where it pumps the oil up from down below into the head. Comes up into the head and pumps it into the head. Pretty simple design, but that banjo bolt, it got misthreaded, and it was at a little bit of an angle, and it just would not seal. Man, that took a while to figure out because I couldn't see the angle. I mean, it was an interesting deal. And then the radiator leaked around here. Not the radiator. It was the cooling system right in here. You have this thing, and it pokes. You push it in the head, and there's an O-ring on each side. And man, I don't know what it was with that O-ring, because I looked at them carefully, and they looked exactly the same, but the one on the right side leaked. And I tried putting some bigger O-rings in it, and then it wouldn't seat because they're slightly bigger and it wouldn't seat. So I got desperate and just put a bunch of gasket seal around it and plugged it up, and it stopped leaking over the O-ring, which I would not recommend, but you do kind of crazy stuff when you get desperate. You get tired of messing with it. Yeah, what else? I could tell you about all the mistakes I made. On the cam cap bolts, it had like 6 broken cam cap bolts when I bought it, and I took it to a machinist, and he fixed the threads in them, but one of them, man, I hadn't done a helicoil in a while, and I forgot that on the helicoil you got to drill it out. You can't just thread and then screw the helicoil in there. So just to let you remember, if you're helicoiling, you got to drill it out. But I just tapped it, and then I put the helicoil in there, and I couldn't get even 9 foot-pounds, or like that was 96 inch-pounds or whatever it was, but I couldn't even get that, and I just had it was awful wrestling match with that, but finally did get it. Actually, I wound up putting an oversized, little bit oversized aluminum bolt, which they're steel bolts, but I put an oversized aluminum, so we'll see what happens. But and the book said I had oh gosh, what was the manual I had? This is kind of important, so I'm going to pause. I was using this climber manual, and it had listed, which I will show you. Well, what do you know? Where did I get 12? It does say 9 in the climber book right there. Camshaft cap bolts 9. Somewhere I got 12. And they will not, you won't get 12. They'll strip. But I wound up going with, I saw online, these guy says, man, I never crank them more than 96, which is not even 9. I can't remember what 96 is. It's 8, isn't it? 8 times 1, 8. 8 times 9, no, it's whatever, 12. 12 times 8, 16. Yeah, it's 96. So 8 is 96. So I wound up putting 84 on them. So I got, because I was having some problems cranking them down. Let me pause here and see what else I want to say. Oh yeah, I remember. We thought the leak was coming out of the valve cover, but it turned out to be that banjo bolt, you know. But it did leak at first because I didn't have the valve covers tight enough. I put like 5 on the valve covers, 5 or 6 foot-pounds on the valve covers. Usually just put it down hand tight, but I wanted them the same. And my little trick with the valve cover gasket, which people may not recommend, but we were having problems with that, and we just got some Gorilla Glue and we glued the gasket there, you know, where the ridge is. We didn't glue the side where it's mating with the head, but the other side, and that seemed to work great because we couldn't. Yeah, there was some issues with that, but I think it was. Part of the issue was that it wasn't the valve cover leaking. It was at first. We tightened it down, and then we didn't look carefully. It was coming out of the top banjo bolt fitting, which that was kind of a booger. Took a while. This is the tank I had painted, which, man, it came out nice. Had a guy paint it for me. But some of the things about the project that were kind of, you know, this was a year long. I mean, the bike sat up for a year, and I lost the seat, which, you know, when you go through as many bikes as I do, I had a KLR 650 and I had an extra seat with that 650, and I think somehow the seat got tossed, so I had to buy one off of eBay. I found one on eBay for $50, and then I'm missing a turn signal, which is kind of a bummer, and I'll show you some other stuff. So yeah, there's my fairing, which it's got a broken piece right there, you can see. Yeah, the tightening the chain was interesting. I didn't get those little marks lined up, which I haven't looked at that. There's the shield, which needs to go on the fairing. And I don't have the little side panels. I got to get those. And actually, I do think this is an oversized. It's an oversized radiator. Which one thing I'm concerned about is the headers are right there by it. Anyway, and there's the 2 side panels. So there you go. That's the latest Roger Dodger project, Gpz900, and it does run. I'll pop a short one in there running. It runs. It sounds good with that Vance and Hines pipe. So there you go, Gpz900ers. Kind of my dream bike when I was about 17 or 18 years old. Signing out.